Hi, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy Podcast. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys again so much. This will be the last episode for 2020. Might be a bonus episode later on this month, but at least the last episode that we all get together. Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid is the studio sponsor of the Gig Economy Podcast, and we cannot thank them enough. You can call them at 532-6600, or you can schedule online, irvines.com. They are the best in the business. Like they've always said, they're not the cheapest, but they're the best, and they will fix it right the first time. And they have been a huge supporter of this podcast. So please reach out to them if you need any maintenance, oil change, car repair, whatever. Please call them 532-6600 or schedule online, irvines.com. Another great sponsor of the show is Oil Uber. Go to oiluber.com to sign up to get your oil change on demand wherever you are. You can also now request a jump start, or if you ran out of fuel, you can request that too. If you want to be doing those services, if you want to add an extra gig to your repertoire, well, that was a big word for Jason, go to oiluber.com and sign up to be a technician to change oil, jump starts, or fuel delivery. I don't do the changing of the oil, but I do jump starts and fuel delivery. I'm signed up for that. So oiluber.com. You also can like them on Facebook or follow them. They would really appreciate that. Third sponsor of the show, of course, is Jackie from Michigan Insurance and Financial Services. She is the insurance agent of the Gig Economy Podcast. You can call her at 269-569-6127. That is her personal cell phone. Or email her, Jackie, at miafs.com. Man, she has saved Jesper and I so much money. She is an independent insurance agent, so meaning she can get quotes from several different companies. You know, if State Farm doesn't work for me, it might work for Jesper or Progressive or whatnot. So she's the one you need to contact to get the best deal. And of course, she does home and auto too, so you might want to bundle those together to save money. Call her 269-569-6127, and again, or email her, Jackie, at miafs.com. We can't thank Jackie enough for supporting the Gig Economy Podcast. And then last but not least is Scrotenbar Tax and Accounting. Call Dave at 940-1045. We are knocking on the door to tax season. And you know, y'all, come January, you're going to be like, where's my 1099? Do I get a 1099 or miscellaneous or what? You know, all those questions. And I get it. It can be super confusing. If you call Dave at 940-1045, get things started right now. Get a relationship going with him. Start getting him your information, and so that he can answer all those questions for you and save you a ton of money on taxes. Honestly, during this podcast, I think I realized something about taxes that I could write off is the rider you have for taking passengers for Uber or Lyft through your insurance. I mean, yeah, it's $20 a month, but you can write that off as a business expense. So, man, it's always good to have a tax account. So, Scrotenbar Tax and Accounting, 940-1045. Call Dave. Get on the books. Thanks, guys, so much. Again, I know I've been saying thanks a lot, but we really do appreciate it for supporting us. Our Patreons, everyone that joins us on the live streams and all that stuff. We just can't thank you enough. And just as a FYI, we're all remote still, so the quality isn't quite where I would like, but it is what it is. Hopefully, maybe by January, we'll be back together, but I doubt it. So, again, thanks again, and enjoy the show. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. I unmuted. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This studio is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid. We can't thank them enough for supporting us. So tonight, a little change. As you look on your screen, we have Miguel, who has been a longtime supporter of GR Rideshare Adventures when it was that, and now the Gig Economy, and is a Patreon supporter. And then we have Marrisa, a Shipt connoisseur. Or
yeah, I'll take it.
You'll take it. You'll take it. All right. So yeah, we're gonna have just kind of a different rundown tonight. Marissa's gonna kind of give us some tips about Shipt. we've talked about it in the past, but it's always good to have somebody on here since I feel like Shipt is blowing up just due to the fact that with the pandemic and those things, there's a lot of ship shopping going on.
And I hear there's a recent change also to kind of
change
the rules a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not
there's
sure.
a lot actually that's changed since your last Shipt Shopper was on.
Right, and there's some sort of like pandemic going on to make it busy. I don't know.
Haven't heard of it.
No.
Touch on that a little. But if you could do me a favor, you can share the show in any groups or anybody that might be interested in it. We'd really appreciate it. A couple of things. There is some links in the chat. We got a bunch of stuff. So for 2020, last year we did a weight loss competition, and we're going to do that again this year. It's going to be a little different, though. It's through an app called Diet Bet. You bet $35 that you lose 4% of your weight. If you do that, you get your $35 back. And everyone who doesn't do it, the people that did do it gets to split their money. So it's easier. I don't have to deal with it and collect all the weigh-ins. And
you didn't do it last year either, Sam. Don't take the credit.
She's not here. So yeah, we'd love for you to join us. It's just for 1 month, just in January. Weigh-ins December 31st. So if you could go ahead and sign up for that, that would be great. And then we actually finally got merch out just in time for Christmas. If you go to the Gig Economy podcast gig economy podcast.com
and then click on merch.
And click on merch. You can buy a shirt. Redbubble always has discounts. So pay attention to that. Sometimes 20, 30, 40% off.
And we don't know how quickly to order them to have them by Christmas. So you're going to have to look that up.
Yeah. That's not on us. That's not on us. We're not doing any shipping. So, okay. So what we typically do before we jump into the articles is stories since last podcast. Now, Jesper is not working.
What? I have no stories.
You have no stories. And then I don't know about Miguel, if you have anything that's happened recently.
No, I haven't been driving at all.
You haven't been driving passengers?
Right. I've been doing Uber Eats.
Okay. So, how's that been going? Are you just doing Uber Eats?
Yeah, it's been pretty slow. Yeah. Like, I don't know. People are not buying any food, or there's more drivers out. Who knows?
I think there's more drivers out. Are you just focusing in Holland, or are you actually doing it in Grand Rapids?
Mainly Holland right now. So yeah, I'm staying in Holland.
Okay.
There's probably less drivers out there anyway, so that's not a bad idea.
Hey. Shh.
Damn it, Jesper.
Gave away your tip. Okay, sorry.
So, Marrisa, what about you? Anything that stands out before we get into your main section later on?
Yeah, I witnessed a fight about masks.
Oh,
my mayor while I was ship shopping.
Oh, wow.
There was a woman who was not wearing a mask, and I think they were already fighting about it in the store because I caught them in the parking lot. And the woman, there was a guy who I think was yelling at her for not wearing a mask, and she hit his car.
Oh boy.
With her hand. She hit the back of his car, and he jumped out and was screaming at her. I walked right through in the middle of them. I was like, okay.
Awkward.
So yeah,
very awkward. Settle down here. Settle down.
Yeah, we're outside now, so it doesn't even matter. You guys are.
Yeah. Oh man, I surprisingly haven't seen anything.
I've seen 3.
Really? Man, when I go into the gas station though, there's always somebody that's not wearing a mask.
Oh yeah,
it's something about gas stations.
I don't know. I don't say anything. I'm just like, whatever.
Well, half the time the attendant isn't wearing the mask right either. It's forget it.
Yes, forget it. I have had a few things. Uber is stupid. They 2 weeks ago ran a background check, and they decided to run another one. And I haven't been able to do Uber for 3 or 4 days, and it was supposed to clear today, and I don't know why.
I just was wondering, it still didn't clear today. You said it was supposed to.
Yeah, I checked tonight. They keep sending me their support email, hey, how do you rate your support service? I'm like, I'm not rating you until I get back on the platform.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why it took so long for support to respond to my email.
Well, yeah, they take what?
It was a joke.
What your email? What email?
It was that bad.
It was a
dumb
bad joke.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
If you
didn't
have
catch
to
it.
explain
Yeah,
it,
I know.
wasn't funny.
Keep going.
Sorry, Esper.
So,
it's fine.
so I'm not doing Uber right now.
You got it, Marissa. You got it.
Uber, so I'm not doing Uber right now. But one thing, I did do a flex route the other day, and I delivered to this lady. It was a pretty nice house out in Nunica. And I get up there, and 2 heavy boxes, and it's fine. I'm like, whatever. I was like, oh, she was actually outside. She's like, oh, here, take a little gift card for Christmas. And I'm like, oh, sweet, thanks. So I left it in my car for 2 days. I didn't really think about it. And then I grabbed it, and it was Amazon, and put the code in. It was $20.
Wow.
Nice.
I know. I couldn't believe it was $20. I'm like,
That's awesome.
that is so nice. And I noticed on Facebook yesterday that someone else was talking about it. So she's giving them away like candy.
Just giving away.
Wow.
I couldn't.
It is nice though that they use this time of the year to kind of just acknowledge the people who are out and servicing. So
Yeah, I run into, and I'm sure Marissa does too, but like people have like little snacks outside.
Yep.
I got a Snickers like 2 days ago. Like I
Yum.
need it. Trying to, fatten up before the diet bet.
are you guys ever weird about stuff like that?
Meaning
About taking
About
the
whether or
food?
not it's safe? That's. I mean, I'm not. I'm just literally actually asking. I know they're all individually wrapped or whatever and all that stuff, but I mean, I don't know.
I've never thought twice about taking chocolate.
Free stuff.
Nope. I went right in that
No,
basket.
good.
And I'm like, Snickers.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
take 2.
Yeah. Every year I say to my wife, I'm like, we should do that. We never do. So, anyways, and then real quick, we probably won't talk about it later, but anyone that does Amazon Flex that has requested the Amazon Rewards card, they have a debit card now. It is super buggy. I just want to throw that out there that it's super buggy, and I wasn't able to transfer money from my debit card back to my bank, so I actually shut the direct deposit off. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you definitely, it's a good deal because you get percentage back on gas and food and all that other stuff. So Miguel and Marissa, if you hear those weird sounds, those are people liking the stream and stuff.
I know.
Okay.
Miguel
God, I was
knows.
like, is it me?
No, Miguel knows. And the noises you hear are actually the Uber ping sound for drivers, and then there's a Lyft one too. I can't remember which one triggers that one, so just wanted to throw that out there.
It's just we miss those noises. We haven't heard them in so long.
There it
so-
is again.
Yeah, exactly. Did I talk about Diabet, didn't I? In
Yes.
merch?
Briefly,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. I just want to thank our Patreon members too. We really appreciate it. So
Jason, what is Patreon again?
if you go to patreon.com and boy, I'm gonna have to edit these out in post. Wow. It gets distracting. It's funny, Marissa, but when I first did it, people were so confused. They're like, wait, who's got their phone on? Because that's what it sounds like when you get a ride.
Yeah. I was
So-
like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, right. If you go to patreon.com and search the Gig Economy Podcast, that's where you can join us to support us. You get an extra podcast a month. Usually we interview somebody that's got like a new app coming out. We just recently released an app called Lunder. It's not an app yet, but a gig called Lunder. You can check that out. It's actually in the Facebook description, the last episode. And then you get a piece of merch. And what else do you get? Before the show banter and yada, yada, yada. So,
Yep. And we actually have our furthest away Patreon is from New Zealand. So, and we shipped it to her. So absolutely, we will go ahead and do that.
yeah, Janet, comment how long it took. I know I think it was only like 21 days.
It wasn't too long. No, it wasn't too long.
Yeah, I shipped it from like cheap. It was like $12 to ship this hat, and it was like 21 days. So,
Yep. No, it's pretty cool. So
Yes.
please join us. Help us.
right, we would appreciate it. All righty, let me see. Oh, that's not the right one. Here we go. Before we jump into gig economy news, I want to talk about Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid. Call them at 532-6600 or go to irvines.com to schedule online. Everything's COVID safe. You don't even have to see them. I mean, you want to see them. Megan and Jamie are amazing. But they're one of the best auto repair places in the country. Now, they will say, and I will tell you, they are not the cheapest, but they are the best, and they will fix it right the first time. If you look at the screen, their Google reviews like 4.7 out of 5 of 276 reviews. So they're amazing. We love them. They've been a supporter for over a year of our podcast. So 532-6600 or irvines.com to schedule. All right. So let's get back to it. Oh, shit. Jesper, guess what?
I don't know what.
I didn't read my article.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I didn't read that one.
No. So we can just talk about it. Uber asked U.S. CDC to consider ride-hailing drivers essential for COVID-19 vaccine distribution. Oh, please don't play this video. Please don't play this video. Oh, I played it. What do you guys think? Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Uber drivers should be offered the vaccine like frontline workers?
Well, first of all, would you guys take the vaccine? I've talked about
I wouldn't take it. So
no, we're not asking that. I think it just is a hot topic right now. So, so
okay.
I don't know. I guess you full-time worker, and then maybe they should be considered to get the vaccine. I mean, they move a lot of people like through the day. Like, can be.
Well, I guess it
Can be
depends.
helpful.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who else they're including. Like, are they including grocery store workers and gas station people? Like, are they including everybody who was essential in the beginning? Was Uber essential back in April?
yes. I
It
mean,
was.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you're
It doesn't
right.
make sense then.
Yeah, you have to add like bus drivers and, like you said, grocery store workers. I might see it if they do it in separate waves, like maybe like the medical staff first, and then maybe like grocery store workers and Uber drivers and bus drivers and those kind of things. But
Like people who are for sure being exposed, people who are like 90% being exposed.
Yeah,
Well,
That makes sense.
the other side of it, though, is we are all servicing people who are out on the front lines every day. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense that we get them right. I would take it absolutely in a heartbeat if we were to get it offered. Just because why not, right? And when you are servicing, if like Marrisa, if you get COVID and you have to stay home, that's 2 weeks where you're not able to help another family who potentially is on the front lines.
Right.
So I think you got to think about it that way as well. We help out.
So
the frontline
everybody
workers.
is at a loss if we're not able to work.
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah. Again, I don't really care, regardless if they do or not. I don't think they're going to get it with them.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Although there's it feels like there's 4 or 5 people, 4 or 5 companies that put out vaccines. So it feels like, by January, there's going to be so many of them. But
yeah.
Well, I mean, right now they're talking about whether or not we're going to get it first or whatever. So there's a lot of talk about that. Pete, I want to bring up Peter from the group. His comment is, he says he thinks if you're full time and if you're working full time, then you should get it. But if you're just a part timer, maybe you don't have to. So I think that's a good comment. And if maybe that's a good way of distinguishing between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would never. It would be. I mean, everyone, if you're going to want it, you're eventually going to get it. But yeah, if you're driving 20 hours a week, I mean, there has to be some sort of you literally drive 40 hours a week.
Another thing I was thinking about earlier today is so let's see when the vaccine is here, right? And we have it. Do you guys think there's going to be a notice in the app whether or not your driver is vaccinated or not? Are they going to go that far?
No,
I
because
don't think so.
it's HIPAA. It's a HIPAA violation.
I don't think that's legal.
Well, and there's some truth to that, Marrisa. That's absolutely true. But I can see benefits. I can see absolute benefits in knowing whether or not that you have it.
Well, the driver could put it in his profile.
I think that would be
Right. Yeah, you can write it in the profile, absolutely. And then you're writing yourself, and then you're not bringing
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah,
But-
maybe you would get more people wanting you that way.
Yeah.
if you did it in profile.
Yeah, it definitely. Uber's not going to be allowed to do that. In fact, my son got exposed last week to somebody, and they don't tell you who it was or how it happened or anything. They're just like, oh, by the way, and we're like, well, what? I thought like the contact. Oh, we're getting off. I'm gonna ripcord. we're getting off topic
Sorry
there.
about that.
That's okay. No, I knew it was bound to happen.
Well, but I think it's a hot topic right now, right?
Yeah.
To talk about how that's all going to affect us.
So, Marrisa, Chris I don't know how to pronounce his last name, said that he's pretty sure that you delivered his groceries last week. You probably don't remember names. It's like, yeah, I mean,
I can't remember a Chris, but it's possible. I've been working. So
apparently you didn't do a very good job.
Hey, I've got 2 months of 5 stars.
Really?
Nothing lower.
Really?
So
Wow.
He did say you did great if it was you. So.
okay.
I'm only a 4.7. So, I mean,
Like overall or your
I think overall I am. Now, remember, I've only done 100.
right.
But like, I don't know. I just don't
Well,
think
when was the last time you shopped? Has it been a while?
like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they do the last 2 weeks. You have a
Yep.
score for your last 2 weeks, and then you have a score for your last 50 days. And those are both 5.0s for
Yeah.
me. But my overall score is a 4.9.
Okay.
How many have you done total?
I think it's almost 1,600.
Oh
Close
my
to.
gosh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been doing Shipt?
Almost 3 years.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more. Mark, damn it. He comes up with the best jokes. Mark says a 4.7 because of the Santa beard.
Santa beard.
All right. Next up is Jesper's video. It's kind
Well,
of.
you're just gonna play it, right?
Well, you told me you wanted to see it beforehand. That's why I kicked Miguel out of the studio earlier because he wanted to.
Oh, that is good. So here's a video about a DoorDash and tipping or not tipping.
Yeah, this podcast is tip heavy conversation, so I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It's good. We gotta get some more people tipping.
That's right.
Just put in your food order with DoorDash, feeling all good, leaving that $0 tip for your driver. Here's what happens next. Your food is about to be ready. It goes out to the closest DoorDash driver for $3. He doesn't accept it. 35 seconds later, it goes to the next DoorDash driver for $3.25. Then to the next $3.50. Then the next $3.75. Then the next $4. Then the next $4.25. $4.50. $4.75. $5. Meanwhile, 35 seconds are going by in between. Finally, a driver accepts it. Maybe $7.50. Maybe $8. The food's already been sitting there ready for about 10 minutes. Now it's at the 20th closest driver to the restaurant, who now has to drive 15 minutes to the restaurant. By the time they get to your food, it's been 25 minutes. Now they got to drive 15 minutes to your house. It took you 40 minutes. You're wondering why your food's cold. You're wondering why DoorDash charges you so much. You know why? Because they got to make up for the cost. Because you didn't tip. You chose to leave the $0 tip. So guess what? They added it on. They keep paying the driver. And when they pay the driver, I lose, you lose, we all lose. Tip your friggin' drivers. Start with $5. Get your food hot and fast.
Nice.
He's a little high energy there, a little high energy. But there's some truth to it, right? There's some truth to it. So because that's how these systems work. So
That is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can give a little feedback about DoorDash. They all kind of work the same, but I've done DoorDash this week just due to the fact because Uber is dumb. So I've had to do DoorDash, and DoorDash is the lowest paying one out there. They actually give you a base pay of $3, and then the tip is what you make on top of that. And I've seen orders for $3, $3.50, $4, $4.25. And what happens is he's exactly right. I get one for $3. Guess what? Decline. The next guy gets it for $3. Decline. You know what I mean? And then it sits there for a while, and then finally it gets up to, let's say, $8. And when I see one for $8, I often wonder if it's been sitting there for a while. But I typically won't take anything less than $8 because, I'm not going to deliver something for $3. I mean, you're going to have to be next to the restaurant for me to do that.
Can people tip after you deliver?
So I'm not sure on DoorDash. I know Grubhub just enabled that feature.
Okay.
They can tip after, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he makes a good point though. We've always talked about that with Uber driving as well. Like there's someone that's trying to get a ride that lives kind of in the boonies, and they like can't get a ride. I'm like, well, if you can pre-tip, if you pre-tip $10, I'm gonna come pick you up.
I mean, I used to say that to anybody who was, whenever they were in Allendale and wanted to go downtown, I would say, the moment you ping me, you text me immediately and say, I will tip you $5 or something like that. Because then I will drive out to get you. Otherwise I'm not driving $12, 12 minutes to drive you down the street. I'm just not.
But then you'll get I'll tip you in the app, bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And you run that risk. Absolutely. But
is that a thing with you guys too? Shipt Shoppers talk about it all the time. I'll tip you in the app.
Absolutely. Yeah. Then you sit in there, you'd never get it, right? But I've had several times, Miguel, where I drove out to Allendale, and they were nice, gave me $10-15 tip. It's they just do. I mean, I had one time, this was back when everything was crazy time, right? I picked up, it was a 2 a.m. in the morning, and I actually took him home. So that's always better. But it was a 4-time ride, and so I made $100 going from downtown to Allendale.
Wow.
Because they also tipped me $20. So hey, I'll take it. But
yeah,
sometimes they do. And as I said, whenever I picked something, I live halfway between downtown and Allendale, so that's a little easier. So whenever I go online, I always kind of I watch for the ones coming from Allendale because they want to go down to the Grand Rapids at that time. And so I'll go out and pick and get them up, and then I say, when you're gonna go home, text your driver immediately, letting them know that you will tip them, and then because then they will keep you. Otherwise, they might kick you off because they don't want to drive that far.
Yeah. I think a pre-tipping option would be amazing in the Uber app.
Just like it's doing that with Uber Eats now, right? Where there's the estimated with a tip. So, I mean, that would be great in Uber as well. Absolutely.
I often wonder, though, now that Grubhub, they can go back in and change it. I wonder, and Uber, you can too. The first hour, they have 1 hour to change the tip, which is nice. I think Uber's actually done a good job with Uber Eats between all the companies. Like, give them the opportunity to change it. And if they don't, and they're like enjoying their food and an hour goes by, then the tip is mine. So
nice.
Yeah. All right, let's check this one out. So this one, I'm going to make this one big. It's small. So this is a text conversation. So this is the stuff we deal with. I'm not kidding. So this is your Grubhub driver. I've left your order as specified in your notes. That's a default text. In room 247. Yes, I dropped off the order at room 247. That's what I request it be brought, and that's where it is. Food was dropped off at 247, was laid on the ground outside, and I don't want to tell whoever brought it there that there's no dogs here, refund my money. I don't get what that means. That's the gross shit I never ever heard of. Oh God, I cannot read this on my screen. I'm sorry, hold on. That's the gross shit I never ever heard of. Refused to eat this shit floor to walk or not to leave people's food. I'm reading what he typed, so it doesn't mean it makes sense. I don't want it. I mean, since it was so hard to knock on the door to present to me. Grubhub deliveries are contactless due to COVID. That's why there's a mask. I don't want this. I think he meant shit. I need my money returned. Incorrect. The delivery was marked as contactless. That's a hard word to say. You can contact Grubhub customer support for a refund. Have a great day. Enjoy your meal. So, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think as a default on a lot of these apps, it's marked as contactless. That's a hard word for me. Do you see how slow I said that? Contactless. I knock regardless. So, I mean, this is another one where he didn't knock. He just left it. I don't understand people that don't knock. I would want somebody to knock because it's food, right? It's going to get cold. A lot of people aren't glued to their phones all the time, so they may not see the notification that comes. I mean, it's probably just pops up and then goes away. You know how it kind of scrolls down and pops up. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's a big deal that he left it on the ground at the hotel. I mean, I don't know where the dog shit part.
You're not eating the bag.
Yeah, I know. It's so bizarre.
I saw one this week.
I don't know.
I saw one somebody had placed the food right on the stone in front of the door, and the door opened out. So it would actually, when they opened the door, it would push the food off the ledge. And that seems stupid, right?
So
I mean,
stupid.
but yeah, that one was like,
Drivers are so dumb. In fact, I had a delivery this week that said, please don't put it in front of the door. And I'm like, okay, clearly she's had some issues where I'm like, when people deliver packages too, I always look when I deliver a package where the door opens so I don't block it. And so then when they open it, they can just grab it and they don't have to walk all the way around. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too considerate, but
too considerate.
I mean, like
2 seconds, you look at the door. Okay.
It's just customer service. I mean, like I treat people how I would want to be treated. So, anyways, Mark
hey,
says,
Marissa, what about? Do you have any weird like drop off stories like that?
Kind of. I delivered an order last week, and it was a porch drop off. And I usually send a text like, do you want me to drop everything off on your porch and shoot you a text when it's all there? And she's like, yeah, great. So I drop it off. I get back to the store, and I send a text when I drop it off. Everything's there. Have a great night. Blah blah. I get back to the store and she's like, nothing is on my porch. And I'm like, my heart is racing. I'm like, no, I cannot do this. I am not a noob. I will not accept. So she's like, so then she sends, because we don't have access to their address after we deliver. So she sends me a text with her address, and I'm like, that was not on your account.
Oh, no.
So I looked at my map history and I was like, but I try not to be like, this is your fault. Right. So I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure my app said this. I'm so sorry. I'm jumping back in my car. She's like, no. So I call her and she's like, don't worry about it. It could have been, she's like, it could have been me. I'm going to run out and make sure it's still there. So then she texts me and she is like, yeah, I put the wrong address in my account. I'm so sorry. I was like, thank God it wasn't me.
So did you run back and grab it?
I was in my car. I was going to go back and get it for her, but it was her next door neighbor. I think they must have shared the account.
Okay.
So thankfully she was like, I'm putting my slippers on. I'm going out there.
I would too. Like,
so
I'd be freaking out.
Right. Where's my groceries?
Yeah, totally.
I felt so bad for a second. I was like, I can't do that.
No, I would do the same thing. I've had it where I forget this week I forgot drinks twice. Now they got them because they text, because I always it's been with Grubhub too. That's why I kind of like Grubhub, because you send a stock text and then they text me back, hey, was there a drink? I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So I'm like, turn around and like one was like a kid's milk and the other one was like a Mountain Dew. It doesn't really matter what it was.
Yeah.
But with DoorDash, you like confirm delivery and then there's no texting. It's like all through the app. And for Grubhub, it actually pulls your SMS message. So you actually you can contact, the customer through SMS, not through the app. So thankfully it was both with Grubhub, and they're like, hey, did it have a drink? I'm like, son of a bitch.
I had one this week where she had ordered 4 fabric softeners, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I asked her, I was like, did you want all 4 of these? And she was like, she said something about one of the items.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, great. So she only wanted one. So I put the rest back. And then when I delivered, she sent me a text and she was like, hey, did they not have those fabric softeners? And I was like, I thought, oh, I must have left the one that I got for her in the car. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It must be in the back of my car. I'm coming back right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I get back to her house and it's not my car. And I'm like so confused. Like, where could it have gone if she didn't get it and it's not in my car? So then she's like, no, there was a sale at Target. If you buy 4, you get a $10 coupon. And I wanted all 3 of them, but English wasn't her first language. So it was like kind of a choppy text. And I just didn't understand what she meant, but it was like she wanted all 4 of them and I only brought her one. I felt so bad.
Whoopsies. It happens.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Jesper, moving on.
This is a kind of a scary video coming out right now, and I think it probably is like a worst case scenario, what could happen but just shouldn't. But go ahead and play the video.
My Amazon
it wasn't
job.
that bad.
No. Why are you getting back in there? You pulled your fucking gun on me. I'm doing my fucking job. You pulled your fucking gun on me. Nah, Trump got motherfuckers like you think no one.
Oh, by the way, he uses the F word quite a bit.
Fuck you up. You pulled your gun out in front of me. No.
We won't watch the whole thing.
Intimidated by what? A big ass Amazon truck?
No.
A big ass Amazon truck? I literally waved to your fucking workers here to drop this package off. Nah, fuck that, bro. I'm doing my job, bro. I don't want to be over here.
Job, bro.
Your job pulling a pistol out in front of a 22-year-old? Where's your pistol? Go ahead and show it now.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to now.
No, wait.
Nah, fuck you.
No.
Nah, I'm turning back. Okay. Fuck your package.
Yeah, let's speak.
No, you're here from Amazon. Fuck you.
No.
Nah, fuck that. I should have called the cops like you would have called on my ass. Fuck you. Get away from the van.
Anyways, we don't have to play all of that, but you get the gist.
The whole story, right?
Yeah, you get the gist of it. It is, honestly, he's actually in an Amazon van. When I deliver Amazon packages, I'm in my personal car.
But the story doesn't. We don't know that he's an Amazon. He says he's an Amazon driver, but you don't actually see the side of the van.
No, you don't. But through the rest of the video, the rest of the video does say that he's in a Prime van.
Oh, okay. Well then,
yeah. So, but my point is like we drive our own vehicles. Yeah, I have a sticker that says Amazon, and it's okay during the day, but still, even now they're like, oh, they make you drive your own car now. I'm like. I always drive my own car, and I have to explain to them that Amazon Flex, this is the overflow, like every single time. I had a lady today come sprinting from her barn because she saw me pull in the driveway, and I'm like, it's okay. I mean, I wear Amazon vest, like I step out, like you see, like I just don't have the van. And there's been people in the Grand Rapids group that have had guns pulled on them.
Oh my god!
Yeah, especially late at night. I try not to deliver at night, so I won't usually take a night route. It gets dark at 5:30 in Michigan here, in the winter. So anything after that is kind of sketch because you go out to the country. The city's fine, no problem in the city. But if you go out to like Cedar Springs or Kent City or wherever, man, it's dangerous.
But why? And this is what I don't understand. Maybe it's just because I'm not from here. I don't know. But why is your first thought to pull the gun? I don't get that.
It's America, bro.
Well, but I mean, maybe, right? So but why are you worried about your safety because somebody comes driving down your driveway in a van? I don't get that.
Well, especially like you're in your house, right? I mean,
and it's the middle of the day.
Well, I mean, it's they deliver up to 9 p.m. For him,
but this here was the middle of the day. I
correct.
mean, right? I mean, what was he scared about? It's not like he didn't look like he couldn't handle himself. I mean, he was old, but he wasn't that old.
Yeah, I think people.
I just don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, so anyone listening that isn't a gig worker, if you do see a car in your driveway, which I'm a neighborhood watch guy. I'm going to be the 80-year-old looking out the window every day because that's how I am. So if somebody rolls up, I'm like, what's up? My daughter does the same thing. It's freaking hilarious. We kind of live on a dead end too. So I'm like looking in the back, like people will park back there. I'm like, what's up? You know what I mean? So I get it. But my first reaction wouldn't be to come out with a pistol.
No.
You know what I mean? So...
No, so Sam in the chat, he says she doesn't understand it either, and of course, Mara gets the other side of it, America, right?
Yeah.
So again, you have both sides of that all the time. For me, I don't get it, but I also, Denmark is very, very, very different when it comes to those things. I don't know if you guys remember anything about this, but about 25 years ago, right now, there was a lady. She was over here from Denmark on a longer stay, and she had her baby with her. And she happened to leave her baby outside in the stroller in the bar downtown Manhattan, which you could do any day of the week in Denmark, in Copenhagen, because you just do that. And she did. Oh yeah, you can. It's not a big deal. It's a police car came by. They took the baby. It was a huge deal. And she was reported to the Child Protective Services and everything. It was just a huge deal. But it's just the difference in mentality, even in a bigger city, and again, it going back to this whole thing. Why is your first thought to pull the gun? I don't get that.
It's the same reason why I'm going to say this, and we're going to move on because I don't want anyone else to talk about it. It's the same reason we're still dealing with this pandemic. So
there you go.
All right, Marrisa, it's your
cheers.
Cheers. It's your time to shine. It's your time to shine. So Marissa's going to talk about a few things, and then we're going to do an ad, and then she's going to wrap it up. So we just kind of split it up a little bit. So a couple of things I want to know about, what your Shipt Shopper wants you to know, and then like your best 5-star tip.
Yes. All right. Okay. So if you use Shipt, this segment is for you. The first thing that I want people to know is for pickup orders. When we mark your order as ready for pickup, we sit down and we wait for you. We cannot do anything else until you come and pick up your order. We don't have a safe place to put your cart. We don't have we can't leave it with somebody. We sit and wait for you. So please try to coordinate with your shopper and come and pick it up ASAP when we're ready for you. And then also along the same lines with pickup orders, if you come late, we are marked late and we will be penalized for that.
Yeah, it's also good to just to clarify as you continue on that you want to present, because as a customer, right? So some of these shoppers have never taken an order. So it's also good to think, as you're listening to this, like what the customer sees so you can provide a better service.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing as a customer, I think it's important to know that we can't add alcohol onto your orders unless you already have alcohol on your orders. So there's some sort of legal thing on the back end paperwork. When you first submit your order, you're signing something, and we don't have access to that as shoppers. So it's a huge legal no for us to deliver alcohol if it isn't originally on your order. So if there's something, if there's like a beer or something that you want that's not in the catalog, don't put it in as a special request. Put in a different beer so that you have that already. And then you can just tell us that you want something else. And then another thing that's important is we can't deliver tobacco, which includes smoking cessation products. We can't deliver propane, fireworks, or any live items. So, gift cards. We can't do gift cards either.
Can you add additional alcohol if they already have some alcohol?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can.
That's so weird.
I know.
Like you've already I guess you're like opening the door so they can add as much alcohol as long as they have get me a Mickey's 40 or something, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'd like some Founders, I'd like some New Holland, and then that's totally fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's just the legal thing. When you first submit your order, there's something that you sign that is required for alcohol delivery.
So each time the customer places the order, they sign this?
Yes.
Or check a box and say, I agree, or whatever.
It's probably a box that they check. And we don't have access to that as shoppers, so we can't have them sign the form or whatever to get that.
Yeah, Sam says
order.
When you order alcohol, you agree to be present with ID. So how does that work with, is it anyone that has an ID, or do you have to have the customer that ordered the shop?
It can be anyone over the age of 21. I can't have a 10-year-old come bring me their mom's ID.
Right.
But we can accept any valid form of ID. So we can do a passport or it can't be an expired driver's license either. If you have an expired license, unfortunately, we're not able
See, to me, that seems weird. I
agree.
You're clearly, this is you. I see you on the picture. You're clearly over 21 just because it expired.
It's frustrating. Well, they have to do that at the grocery store too. If you have an expired ID, they're not supposed to sell it to you at the grocery store either.
Really?
But don't you think it's because they don't actually get rid of the expired ID, right? So technically, even if they get a new one, they could, quote unquote, give the expired one.
Give it away. That's probably why.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Jesper coming in strong on
with all the logic.
Yeah, even from Denmark, he's like, come on, Jason.
I've been drinking since I was 13. He says proudly.
Right. Isn't your son 15?
Huh?
Isn't your son 15? You shouldn't be bragging about that. I'm going to send him this clip.
Well, the legal drinking age in Denmark is 15, right? So.
Is it really?
Wow.
What?
You can't buy until you're 18 or 21, but you can drink.
But you can drink at 15.
That is nuts.
Wow.
Is it same for tobacco?
They don't care. I mean, whether or not it's legal, I don't know. Whether or not there's no control. I mean, I think you have to technically be 18, but no, anybody can go buy cigarettes.
Yeah, it's also interesting, and this is completely sidebar, but I was watching a TikTok the other day. Yeah, I know. I watch TikToks all the time.
They're so addicting.
They're so addicting. It says you can be 18 to vote, and you can go die for your country, but you can't buy booze till you're 21.
Yeah.
Right? It's so weird.
There's a lot of double standards going around there, right? It's,
America.
America, there you go. Says it all.
What's that?
Says it all.
Says it all. So what else can you tell us about, what your Shipt Shopper wants you to know?
Yeah, our ratings are very sensitive. They're very strict about our ratings. So unless you have a specific reason to rate us down, please don't. We could get fired. Sorry, Jason, for saying this, but we could get fired for a 4.7. I know you
Yeah.
said you have a 4.7. So don't just give us a 4-star because there's always room for improvement. Please and thank you. And then another thing is Shipt has started bundling orders. So that means that we are being offered orders that are 2 together. So we don't have a choice. We have to shop your order with somebody else's. And I know that that's really frustrating from the customer perspective. But please just bear with us. And we are getting paid less for them also. So yeah, I apologize for the slow communication and slow delivery, but it's not our fault.
Are you taking bundled orders?
When I have nothing, when I'm not ordered or offered anything else.
So when you're like, it's like me with DoorDash, like you're just like dead in the water. You're like, all right,
Exactly.
I need a little bit of work.
I'm not just going to sit here. I'm like, okay, I could sit in the parking lot and make nothing, or I could make $10 and go do this bundle.
Do you have the same kind of mentality? And I'm sure you're in some Facebook groups. I don't know, that they're like, and I'm kind of a jerk like that with Amazon. So just real quick, Amazon starts out at a certain rate, and if you leave the routes alone, they'll go up in price.
Oh.
And some people take them at the base rate, and I get so fussy, but I try not to judge them because I don't know what they need for money.
Yeah.
But I just like,
exactly.
For me, $18 an hour to drive to Kalamazoo and back is just, just not worth it. But do you guys have that in your Facebook groups? Like, don't take the bundled orders.
I'm not in the Facebook groups. I don't have a Facebook anymore, but I know a lot of people are like, let the promos go. But then there's also on the other side, if you let orders go to promo too much, then they're going to hire more people. And then there's less orders for everyone. So there's a lot of push to like, don't let him go to promo. Don't let him go to promo.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, you don't want them. Yeah, I guess Amazon would be the same way. They might hire more drivers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Just to try to fill that. But so you don't have Facebook. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. I deleted it off my phone, so I don't have it on my phone anymore. So I only get on it when. Actually, I don't even post anything. It's just all for the podcast. That's all I post.
That's smart, though. You kind of have to be on social media for your marketing.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
Right. So do you mostly communicate through Reddit? I know that's how I found you.
No, I actually just made a Reddit I was browsing on something and I just made it so that I would stop getting the stupid pop-up like, oh, we're better in the app, so I just made it for that. And then I was so frustrated about pickup orders and star ratings, people rating down. So I was like, I want to tell people about this.
You need to vent.
I don't know how. I just feel like if people knew that pickup orders were so inconvenient for Shipt shoppers, I feel like they would be more flexible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need some way to tell people about this. So I don't know, tried it on Reddit and a lot of people enjoyed it. So
yeah, no, that was good. All right, before we continue, you got to get to another ad here. Our sponsor, no segue here. Whoops. OilUber.com. We can't thank them enough. They are doing amazing right now. They are launching all over the country. So what Oil Uber is basically you can get your oil change on demand. So someone comes to your home, they bring the oil, the filter, they change it right there, make sure everything's clean and all that stuff. They also they offer jump starts and fuel delivery. So if you're looking for another gig to do, go to oiluber.com to sign up as a customer or as another gig worker. I am signed up as a jump starter. I'm not going to change oil. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to climb under there at someone's house. Not that I don't know how to do it, but I mean, I don't want to be driving around in grubby clothes. I'm doing, we talked about 17 different gigs at any given moment. So I got to be available to not be dirty. So But if you go to oiluber.com to sign up as a customer, or you can sign up as a tech, they do, like I said, I signed up to do jump starts and fuel delivery. You can do it too. We appreciate Oil Uber for supporting the show.
Yep.
All right. Where are we at here? All right. Let's talk about your most embarrassing ship shopping story.
Okay. So I was delivering to this older guy, and he had made a comment about how impressive it was that I brought everything in one trip from the car. And I'm getting ready to leave, and he's standing next to the door, and he puts his hand up like this to say goodbye. But I thought he wanted a high five because he thought I was so cool for being a one trip wonder. So I high fived him, and he was like, his eyes got all big, and he was like, okay, have a good night. And I was like, get me out of here.
Oh man.
I'm thankful it wasn't a hug.
Right. That would be
Could've been
crazy.
worse, but that's definitely my most embarrassing.
Now, so did you go, I was going to ask you too, now with COVID, it's probably different, but I do ask people, would you like me to bring the groceries into the house for you? Was that one of those situations?
If it's an older person and they open the door, I always ask. And I would say 9 times out of 10, they open the door because they want you to ask.
Okay.
So I have brought groceries in for older people, but most of my orders are drop-offs, except for alcohol deliveries. And I can kind of gauge where they're at because I always offer, do you want to sign my phone or do you want me to sign it for you? And most of them say, please sign it for me because they don't want to touch my phone. So I'm like, okay, they don't want me in their house.
Well, it's funny because when I started Shipt again, Samantha that's commented in the chat, she's been on the podcast for a long time. She's been a host and a contributor, yada, yada. But she said that she just signs it for him. She doesn't even ask. So that's what I started doing.
Nice.
Because I had one lady that I gave her the phone and she kind of hesitated. So then I messaged Sam. I'm like, hey, what's up with this? And she's like, oh no, due to COVID, they don't have to sign it. I'm like, that makes sense. I don't want to hand somebody my dirty
I think they
phone.
just changed it. I think they are requiring people to sign it now. And
Really?
But I'm still offering.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm not going to make somebody do it.
Yeah, like they're really going to verify the signature.
Yeah, exactly. And most people I swear most people just do a line anyway. So that's just what I do for everybody.
Right. It would be fun to write silly things on there and see how long before you got an email like, F you shipped. This place sucks.
Yeah. When you're really done, when you're ready.
Yeah, you're ready to burn the bridge.
Yeah. That'd be a fun way to go. I like it.
Oh. Do you ever feel uncomfortable if have you ever had someone say, yeah, you can bring them in, and you're like,
There was one time that somebody lived way out in like Timbuktu, and their address was actually not in the delivery zone. So the address on the app was different from where they sent me.
Oh, I would never do that.
Yeah, my husband was very mad at me for
I bet he was.
And it was really creepy because I saw him as I was pulling in, and then he went around to the back of his house. There was a fire going in the back of his house. He had a bonfire, and he just disappeared. And I was like, this is it. This fire is for me. That's for my belly.
This is my life. This is it.
And he had the door propped open, and then I heard him say,
come on in.
He literally said, come on in, just bring him right in. And I just dropped him right in front of the door. I didn't go inside. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're
probably not the wisest.
hurried out of the driveway.
I know. Yeah.
We do always talk, and I'm sure Miguel's talked about this before, like women rideshare driving, like it's just guys are such creeps, you know what I mean? I mean, none of us are, of course, but maybe 20 years ago. But it's just it's such a dangerous thing, Uber driving. I don't know. Would you ever do Uber driving at night, or would your husband probably like, that's going to be a no for me?
That's a no for me. No, I don't think I would ever want to do that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but Ship's mostly during the day.
We have some drivers in the group that are female drivers, and they have no issues at all.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's just personality. Like, we always talk about, I know this is a Ship segment, but commanding your car. Like, I always tell the female drivers, like, when they get in, you greet them. You say, hey, how's it going? Thanks for riding with me or whatever. And then they're like, oh, this woman, you don't mess with her. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it helps that everything is traceable. Like, they have an account and, like, Uber knows where they live and
work that way.
They don't care.
Oh,
well, you put a fifth of Patron in somebody and they do not care.
True. That's true. You guys are dealing with a lot of drunk people.
A lot of drunks.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of drunks.
Yeah.
So, your next thing you wanted to talk about is your horror stories, and it says you've been bitten by a dog.
Yes, I was actually going to segue into that because he was drunk. The dog owner was drunk.
I thought you said the dog was drunk.
No. The owner had just ordered a bottle of rum, and I dropped it off to him, and his dog came to the door while he was signing my phone. So I put my hand out for the dog to smell my hand, and the dog bit me. So I pulled my hand back. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And the guy was like, oh, don't worry. She won't bite you. And I was like, well,
sir,
she just did.
You're wasted.
And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And he freaked out. And I was like, no big deal. Maybe just put her away next time. And then I went about my business, and he texted me, and he was like totally drunk texting me I should have my dog, or he like texted me and was like, I am so sorry, blah, blah. And I was like, no big deal. Seriously, don't worry about it. I promise I won't sue you. And then he kept making jokes. And then he's like, I should have my dog bite cute girls more often. And was like totally hitting on me, like not even trying to be smooth about it. Like he was like,
we are now suing.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you're drunk. I'm just not going to respond anymore. So, and then I've actually had another dog, like ready to pounce on me, like growling with their butt up in the air, like chasing me around my car.
Yeah.
There was like a 6-year-old out in their yard too. So I was like,
do you have a dog at your house?
I hate dogs.
Okay. So yeah, that's tough, man. Being in the delivery business and you don't like dogs. I just pretend like I love them though, because they're like people's kids, so you just have to fake it. You know what you can do? And I told this to Sam the other day and she bawled me out, but I don't have any dog treats. You know what I say? I'm like, oh, you want a treat? You want a treat? Come. Oh, what's a good boy. Come here. You want a treat? And then I drop the package and I walk in my car and I get the hell out of there.
That's
and like,
smart.
I know, but I mean, feel bad for the dog, but I'm like, hey, they know that treat word. Like,
right. That's so smart. I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of mean, or just try to have treats with you. But
I had a dog jump in my car and eat my lunch while I was delivering.
Wait, what?
I had my lunch on my passenger seat, and while I was delivering, their dog, this big dog, came pummeling out, jumped right into my car, and ate my lunch.
It's funny. I have to be careful with that because I actually leave my door open when I deliver for Amazon so that if a dog starts charging, I don't have to spend time opening the door. But one of these days, that son of a bitch is going to sneak around the back and get in there and get my little granola bar that I have. That's so funny. What other horror stories have you had? And then we'll move on. Anything that stands out?
I think those are all my good horror stories.
Yes,
Sam says he has lots of cars going on. Lots of dogs get in the car. What's up?
I was gonna say, have you ever had you don't really do any kind of delivery, so you probably have never been bit by a dog.
Never bit by a dog. No.
What about you, Miguel? You're doing Uber Eats. I mean, you do run into, although you're in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, and I step on some droppings, but that's
that might be worse.
Every day I'm like, don't cut the corners. You're gonna step on dog shit. Don't.
I cut the corners. I went into the grass, and I'm like, what?
You went through the grass. Well, I actually had one today where it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and there was a dog out, and it had invisible fence, and it said it was contactless delivery. I'm like, I can't leave this here, so I'm ringing the doorbell. I'm like, no one came, and I went to go. I actually didn't have my phone on me. When I do a delivery, if I don't have to, like, Grubhub doesn't make you take a picture, which is only Uber Eats and DoorDash does. So Grubhub doesn't. So I just leave my phone in my car. Like, I don't need to grab it, drop it, knock on the door, and there's a dog there, and I'm like, what
Dogs
do I
can eat your food.
And it was a big dog too. I mean, he was super nice. Like I was like petting him, and I'm like, "Yeah, you want?" It was B-dubs. I'm like, "You smell these wings in here."
You're like, me too, bud.
Me too. It's 2:00. I have not had lunch yet. I'm starving.
Good job not leaving those wings. Dogs do not like chicken bone.
Yeah. She eventually came out because it was like I rang the doorbell and I was just walking back to my car to call her, and she walked out. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't leave it. I know you wanted it, but I didn't really want to leave it with the dog." She's like, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea." So, all right. So this one's kind of funny. Like I said, this is a heavy DoorDash or a heavy tipping issue. So we're gonna watch another video about. This hasn't to do with tipping. Sorry, I kind of lost track of it. But Jesper had actually seen this on TikTok, so it's pretty funny. All right,
it is pretty funny.
I have been in isolation, quarantine now, whatever you want to call it, for 7 days. So when I ordered DoorDash today, I didn't exactly care how I looked. I went to the door in my boxers. As he handed me my food, he looked down with fear in his eyes. I looked down to realize that my whole dick was outside of the boxer hole. My first reaction was to say something funny, and I said, "Oh, I guess he's hungry too," and instantly cringed. Moral of the story is, does anybody know how to use Grubhub? Because I'm banned from DoorDash now.
They're not creeps.
Okay, I mean, I feel like it's fake because, like, how does that? Marissa doesn't. I mean, you're married. Like, how does that just sneak out? Like,
No,
it's very sensitive to temperature. Like, I mean, maybe he's bragging because it's really big. I don't know, but I've never really had it sneak out.
I mean, if he didn't feel it, it couldn't be that big, right?
There you go. That's a good point.
Oh, you got me on that one.
Sitting there, I always thought the fun part was not about that. It was more that now he's all about how do I use Grubhub because I'm now banned.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many
That was
apps
his
now.
worry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's quarantined. He wants to get his food. My gosh. All right. So, Jesper, insurance.
Why do you give me that story? You always give me that story.
Because you love insurance and, you know.
I don't. Okay, so this is I guess it's a Reddit. I don't know. Yeah, Reddit. So, can insurance company find out if you are doing Uber after accident? And we know Ben has had some experiences with that, and yes, they absolutely can. If you get into a crash and decide not to tell the insurance company that you do Uber, do they have a way of finding out directly by talking to Uber or other company? Other agency. If it wasn't mentioned in a police report or was just with doing eats and no passengers, just curious, thanks. And yes, they can find out. And yes, if you don't have the rider, you are committing fraud. Just get the rider. It's very easy. It's very simple. Most of the companies in Michigan now offer it, and actually most of the companies on a national level offers it. Most of them is not that expensive.
Yeah.
And it's a business expense, right? You get to deduct at the end of the year. It's just.
Wait, what? I never did.
Yeah.
Shit, I should go in there and do that. I never did.
Of course you can. Yeah, it's a business expense.
Another deduction I missed. I never thought about that.
So yeah, Ben, he just joined. Apparently, he stopped by because he heard me mention his name.
Oh no,
Yeah,
he lurks. You know he lurks.
He was in an accident 2-3 years ago, whatever, and within hours he was automatically banned from
yeah, they have a pipeline now that they communicate with, and because neither of them want to pay, right? So they're like, hey. You know, this guy, because Ben's insurance company knew that he drove for Uber, so they immediately send to Uber like, "Hey, was he on the app?" No, he wasn't. Okay, all right. I guess we're on the hook for paying it.
But they still turned them off. They still immediately deactivated the car until Ben could prove that it was fixed.
It was repaired.
Even though it wasn't even a big deal. It was just the tail light that was broken. It's not like he was not able to drive.
Yeah.
You know, it was just So yes, they absolutely know. And when you have a personal insurance, you cannot, I guess it's called do livery, how you want to say, which means you cannot make money using your car only on a personal insurance that is committing fraud, and they can cancel you for it. So it's just.
Here's a
Just-
question for
it's
Marissa,
different.
and I don't know. What about Shipt? Do they require you to have any additional insurance? I know you're not taking passengers, but
Yeah, they don't require additional insurance, but they do require obviously general insurance, but no additional.
yeah, I wonder what would happen. So, Jesper is like he loves to talk about insurance. So I wonder what would happen if you got in an accident when you were actually delivering someone's. I mean, you would assume it would go to your regular insurance, but what if they said, "What were you doing at the time?" And let's just say you didn't lie, and you said that, that you were delivering for Shipt. Would they say, "Oh, sorry about that. We're not going to cover it"?
I actually was in an accident while going to the store to start a Shipt order, and I opted not to tell my insurance about the accident and just paid for it out of pocket.
Okay. I mean, it might be something to look into, but here's the problem. Like, with rideshare, they have like a specific rider that's built in. I don't know if they have anything
Okay.
for Shipt. I mean, they'd probably be
But
like,
I-
"Oh, you need a commercial policy."
Yeah, I've never heard of anything, but I know that Shipt has their own insurance policy, and they cover if you're at fault for an accident, they'll cover somebody else's or the other person's damages.
Oh,
They won't
okay.
cover yours, but they'll cover the other person's.
Okay, so there's
mean,
liability.
Technically, it's still the whole library issue is still there, whether you're delivering people or groceries.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
but I mean, I'll have to talk to Jackie about that. But the insurance company that I was dealing with before that, they did not cover anything but Uber and Lyft. They said that it does not cover Amazon
Sure.
Flex. It doesn't
Right.
cover Shipt. It doesn't cover
Because-
anything.
But those riders is also specifically meant for those models. That's why they have the period 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
which you obviously don't have those periods in Shipt.
Yeah.
Right. But you still have the same problem. It's still the same technically, I would think. We should talk to Jackie about that, definitely. But technically, I would think that if you're in an accident, either delivering the groceries or on your way to the store, technically doing the work,
Mhm.
they could choose to say, no, I am not going to cover the accident because
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. I think technically they could choose not to cover it. Miguel, have you ever been in an accident at all while driving or not?
No, not at all. No, I'm a good driver. I'm just
Hey.
you forget that we are all good drivers, but the problem is not everybody else
Yeah.
on the road are good drivers.
yeah,
We're all good drivers until we're not.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I've never been in an accident either. Oh, speaking of insurance, I'm gonna skip number 7, y'all. Jackie, let's do it. Jackie is the insurance agent of the Gig Economy podcast of Jesper and I. Since that's who the podcast is, we can say that now, right, Jesper?
Absolutely, we can.
You can call her at 269-569-6127 or email Jackie at miafs.com. She is an independent agent, meaning she can shop several different insurance companies to get you the best deal. Jesper's got a lead foot, so, maybe Progressive isn't for him. Maybe State. Hey.
It's taken 3 years.
Hey, I'm doing an ad here.
Don't bring me into it then.
I know, I'm just teasing. So yeah, she can shop several different insurance. Jesper just recently switched, and that number that I give you, that 269-569-6127, is her personal cell phone. She's responsive. She'll take care of you. It's just nice to have somebody that, just a personal insurance agent. And Mark, yes, she does auto and homeowners. Yes,
Yep.
for sure. She does it all. Yeah, I got my home with her too. It's like almost a no-brainer when you get
Oh yeah.
auto insurance. Like, why wouldn't you get your
Yeah,
your
do
home?
both same time. You get the two policy discount. So
Right. So again, 269-569-6127 or email Jackie at miafs.com. It's
One-
based. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I
I
was
was
just
going
going
to
to say one thing that was very interesting to me when she did my quote. I didn't know about this, but since I've been home since April or since whatever, I have not been driving very much on my one vehicle, so she automatically put low mileage discount on that one.
Oh,
Which
nice.
is an additional discount. So if you have a vehicle that drives less, you think you're going to drive less than 6,000 miles a year, she's going to give you the low mileage discount. Which my black car, I think I'll be lucky if I get 3,000 miles on that one this year because I don't ever drive it.
So I drive 150 to 200 miles a day. Does that qualify for a low mileage?
You do the math.
Every month an oil change every 5,000 miles? No, that isn't.
Probably not.
That is not going to fly. All right. Okay, this is freaking hilarious. So I got to full screen this sucker. So this is from Amazon. I didn't know you could actually chat with your Amazon driver, but it says, Amazon driver, I am your Amazon delivery driver, and you have chickens roaming your yard. I am afraid to come out. How can I deliver this package to you? I mean, so listen. So have y'all ever been around chickens like real like?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I have been.
Chickens are fine. Roosters are assholes. I would be afraid of a rooster. Like when we lived in Byron Center, or was like Allegan, we had chickens. We had like I don't know, 10 hens, and then for some reason we got more, and one was a rooster. It wasn't supposed to be. That thing was an a-hole. I almost cut its head off because like I was done with him, and I had to kick him in the chest. Like I would try to go in and get the eggs, and that son of a gun, he just like would not, he would not.
You're still bigger than him, though. I mean,
I know, but it's terrifying when a bird. You're still muted, Marissa.
Sorry.
Say that again.
When they put their wings out, they're huge, though.
Yeah,
they're
and
really
roosters, it's like you see people running from turkeys too, and I'm like,
well, turkeys is much bigger than a chicken.
that's true.
Yeah.
All hens are puntable, so if you just need to punt that thing, just go ahead. But but if that, not that I'm condoning animal cruelty, I love animals, but if you're scared of chickens, you're going to run into a lot of dogs, and maybe Amazon is not for you.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that. I've never seen anyone say, I'm scared of your chickens. What do you want me to do with your package? Just throw the damn thing at them. Like, geez, Louise.
Just punt it in the yard and leave.
Yeah, they're puntable. Like, just get it done.
It's a chicken. I mean, come on.
Hey, I'm going to deliver that package. I do not bring packages back. So here's another one. This is your Grubhub driver, Ashton. I left your order outside of your front door. Common. That's the stock text. Any reason why you place my wings like 5 feet from your door? Okay. This is going to be controversial. He says, I waste the least amount of time possible on 0 tip orders. He's like, how do I speak to your supervisor?
Oh, that's good.
I mean, here's the thing. You chose to take that order.
Right.
You should do the job if you chose to take it. You can be fussy about it. See, here's the weird thing. Like on Grubhub, you see what you're going to get paid. Like they don't tell you if it's tip or anything. Like it says, let's say it says $10. Sometimes you look at it after you deliver it or right before you deliver it, you can see the tip. It says 0 tip. Grubhub has made up that money. But I mean, if you have a minimum that you're going to make, like my minimum's like $8, that's on you. You took it. Why would you be like, you know what I mean? What do you think about that? Anyone jump in?
Well, I mean, he earned his low rating, right?
Yeah, I mean,
He earned his low rating.
I mean, if you're gonna take like me, if I took a $3 DoorDash, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting no tip. So why would I be pissed at the customer? I took it.
Right.
I am an independent contractor. I have the opportunity to deny it, and I didn't. I mean, my acceptance rate on DoorDash is like 14%. You know what I mean? So I decline way more than I take because I'm not going to deliver it for $3. So,
well, and the other side too is the more he takes those orders with no tip, the more people continue doing the orders with no tip. I mean, it's learned behavior, right? So he's encouraging them himself.
And that happens with Shipt. It happens with Amazon. We used to get paid $30 an hour for routes. We don't see that anymore. Then the minimum used to be 23. Like now it's 22. Right. They're figuring it out. They're slowly just whittling it down. And if you keep taking it for cheap, they're going to keep offering it for the customers too. They're going to keep saying, "Oh, I don't have to tip. This guy's going to bring me my food." But
yeah, but you don't ask the person hey, you don't leave a tip. Give me a tip, something like that. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just don't understand why people don't why is it like you get your pizza And you tip, like pizza's the staple, right? It's been around for
Right.
forever, and that was the first delivery item. But I mean, it must be because people are delivering those $3 DoorDash orders, and that's why they're not tipping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for Shipt, there's a little bit of a people don't understand. They marketed Shipt Shoppers as earning $20 to $25 an hour. So a lot of people don't tip their Shipt Shoppers because they think that we're good, you know?
You're making lots of money.
Yeah, 25 an hour. I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Right.
You're rolling in the dough. Come on.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with Uber. They started out saying you didn't have to tip. And so
that's what Shipt still says.
Do they
Even
really?
in a pandemic, they say tips are never expected, but always appreciated.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to say that as corporate, but it's just like, really? I mean, I have Shipt Shop. It's a lot of work. I have sweat more on my pits doing a Shipt Shop because like they're like, you got to be on time, and so you're like hauling ass to the store, and if
heavy
you're not
stuff,
I don't mind the heavy stuff. It's just like I mind it, you know, what I like, and maybe they didn't do that. I swear before you couldn't look at the order back in the day, like a couple years ago.
That's a new feature.
Okay, so now you can look at the order and like all this organic shit. I'm like, I'm not taking this thing. I'm never gonna find that stuff.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't pronounce half this stuff. I don't know where it is.
Calling Megan. Megan, what is this? Where can I find?
No, I call Sam. She gets so mad at me because when she's Shipt shopping, she turns her notifications off on Telegram. I'm like, Sam, hey, it's me. Pick it up. I'll call her, and she's probably like, I'm going to stab him in the neck. He needs to leave me alone. Anyway.
So now you can call Marrisa.
No.
There you go.
Perhaps.
She's like, no. I don't know. I was shopping for a while, but well, right now, Melissa, you can kind of comment on the bonuses that they've been offering and how there's no promos anymore.
Yeah, I think the bonuses are mostly for them to look good. I think they're mostly because they sent out and like they made like a public statement like we're doing so much for our shoppers. We are offering them such and such amount. We've offered like 15 bonuses, a record amount of bonuses. We've never offered this many bonuses. But
well, you know, like Sam and I, when we were when I was starting Shipt again, I only did promos, and all of a sudden they offer that bonus, and there's no promos anymore.
No promos. Yeah, that's the thing. Sundays used to be chaos. Like, yeah, and they still are really busy, but a lot less. No promos. I used to be able to ride promos all day on a Sunday.
Yeah, well, Sam used to work just Saturdays and Sundays to make her money during the week, and now she's
working. You can't because there's no promos.
I think it'll go away after Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah, and especially I think there's a lot of new shoppers right now too. And like you said, when you do your first 10 orders in the honeymoon phase, you get all the good ones, and then after that you don't, and then people realize how much money you're not making, and so they kind of stop. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, so, I mean, Sam said the bonuses are unattainable. I totally agree. You got to do like 12 orders to get $200. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but you have to do that in one day. And
I mean, there've been some that are like 18 for the whole weekend, or I think one was like 12. Yeah, 12 for one day. They're doing a whole bunch of. I think they're kind of probably testing out.
Yeah, and
what it is, but they're
Do you think they probably pay out less money when they do it that way because they?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing that is kind of the wrong thing about the whole gig economy is the constant surge of new people doing it, which is it's feeding the mill, right? It's feeding the and so they can change the model, right? And the people who have been around doing whatever it is for a while, we experience like what you're saying, Jason. Now all of a sudden. You experience the decline exactly like Jason says with the flex. Start out being $30, now it's $24, now it's $12, whatever. No, not 12, but because people take it right away, and there's nobody to teach them the ways of doing it smart.
Yeah.
And then there's too many people who they just don't value their own time. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of it doesn't matter how much I'm gonna make an hour. I just need to make my rent. Or whatever it is.
And I totally get that. I don't judge anyone. I do tell them I would wish you wouldn't take him for 18, but I get it. I don't know your life. If you need to do it for 18 an hour, like I get it, man. Like you do what you got to do, but I'm just saying it's hurting the whole package as a whole.
Oh, it is. It's hurting all the apps, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well, I also think with Shipt, they just changed their pay scale. So a lot of the
Oof.
veterans are a little bit peeved about the new pay scale. And it just like I've always loved working for Shipt, but now I kind of see the downside of being a 1099
yeah.
because you don't negotiate your salary at all. You take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And they're hiring a whole bunch of new people who don't know better, who don't know how good we used to have it. And that they're not hurt at all by the veterans or the old people not working.
Yeah, let's
because they
face
have
it,
all
we're
these
not
newbies.
we're not true 1099s because like if you were a drywaller, you could set the price whatever you want. I mean, within reason. If you set it too high, you're not going to get any business. But yeah, we really don't have any say on our pay.
Right.
We can just be like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're flexible, but this is what the pay is. If you decide to do it, like that is what it
Or
is.
you can turn it down, right?
You can turn it down.
Right.
That's
You can
what-
say, I don't want to do that.
Right. All right, a couple more. Yes, we're going to skip the one that you had in there. I really don't.
Okay.
That was just kind of
That's
in there. This is kind of funny. All these crazy people on TikTok. I don't know why. I mean, I'm on TikTok way too much, so that's probably why. But we'll do that one. Okay.
Oh, I am so mad. Just started doing DoorDash. This was literally only my second order ever. I get a ping that I have to go to Walmart to pick up for DoorDash, okay? The Walmart employees bring out an entire grocery cart of groceries, okay? And 1 case of water, 1 case of Mountain Dew, and 1 case of root beer. I'm like, okay, I get it in the car. I go to the person's place, okay? I start reading the instructions on where to put this stuff, okay? Reading. The instructions say, take it to the top of the apartment building on the 3rd floor! It didn't take me 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 trips to carry their groceries up 3 flights of stairs! I sounded like the damn squeaker toy from Toy Story by the end of it. Wheezing, okay? And I know, that's what I signed up for. Not for DoorDash! This isn't Instacart! And to top it off, they didn't tip me! I went up 3 flights of stairs for you!
Woo, doggy.
Very high energy.
Yes. I don't know
feel
why.
it, though. I feel it.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that if you're listening to this podcast and you may be new to DoorDash, it's not just food. They do Walmart, they do Michael's. I got a Michael's.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got a Michael's order today. It was like for $10, but it was 2 orders. I think Ben did a Michael's once. He's like, don't ever do Michael's. It's never ready. They don't know what they're doing. So I turned it down. But yeah, I think it's Walgreens, like CVS, all that stuff. I would turn down a Walmart ping so fast. I mean, she obviously is new, so she didn't really know, but
She learned.
she learned. She learned.
She ain't doing that no more.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why we did this podcast, though, to kind of tell people, like, we're not going to tell you all our secrets, especially if you're in this market, because we want to make money too. But we're going to try to help you and say, these things are, don't do that. Don't take a Walmart on DoorDash. So,
Right.
all right, we're going to do tip time real quick. Whee! So this is actually from Marissa. She says, never deliver produce that's good enough or the best that's available, but not perfect unless you check with a member first. Strawberries are looking good, but almost over the edge of overripe. Tell the member the strawberries are looking good, but will probably last a day or two. Is that okay? Romaine heart packages all have at least one brown spot. Just don't throw them in. Check first. I don't do that.
Well, I have a lot of members. When I do it, it's always oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
really?
you for saying that. Yes.
See, that's a good tip because I'm like,
Point this out too, Jason. You're 4.7.
damn it.
Right.
Yes. Ouch. Yeah. Look at ouch. Yeah. I mean, I do look at it. I don't just throw it in there because I've bought in strawberries, or Megan has, my wife, and she flips them over and, or like the next day they're like, oh, what the hell? I don't know. But do you do that every time or just only when there's a question of like maybe quality? Like, ooh, they're all looking pretty sketch.
I do it for anything that's not absolutely perfect. If
Okay.
it's not absolutely perfect, I send them a text and let them know, do you still want it or not? Because they're paying for it. And it's different when you're shopping for yourself versus when somebody's shopping for you. You know what I mean? If you bring yourself home moldy strawberries, no big deal.
Yeah.
If somebody else brings you, if you're a Karen, If somebody else brings you moldy strawberries, she's getting a 3-point star average or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at your produce at least. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I look at it, I flip the strawberries over, I look on the edges, and I'm like, okay, I don't see any mold or smushiness or everything, but
I'm surprised at how many people don't want things that aren't absolutely perfect too. There's a lot of people who only want perfect produce. So.
it's like, and that's why Megan, we've done Shipt a few times. She's like, I'm just a little pickier, and I'm like, it's okay. Like, I totally get that, but see, to me, I'd be like, it's fine, I'll eat it. It's not the end of the world.
We had groceries delivered last week, and another tip, I guess, is to make sure you read it in the instructions as to what you wanted. My wife ordered a bag of apples. We got 1 apple.
Oh no! Oh, that's awful. Did you guys get refunded? You can get refunded for that.
It was through Meyer, so we didn't actually pay for it until the end. So
Okay.
Meyer, you put in your order, but you pay for actual. So we didn't
Right,
pay.
okay.
We just paid for the apple. But it was like, yeah, we got 1 apple.
Oh my
So-
gosh!
Did you guys share it? Did you cut it all up and ration it? You each get an eighth a day? All right. Let's see. Yep. Last ad, and then we'll be moving on. Scrotum Board Tax and Accounting. This is the time we're gonna get so many tax questions, Jesper, in January.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm already dreading it.
We don't want to answer them. You gotta ask Scrotum Boards.
Yeah, Scrotum Board Tax and Accounting. They're local here to Grand Rapids, actually Granville. 616-940-1045. He can help you wherever you are. You should use a tax professional. It always pays out better at the end. Yeah, you can go to H&R Block. You can do TurboTax. But the one nice thing about having an accountant all year round, you can shoot them questions. They're like, yeah, I got your email, and be like, hey, what do you think about this? You know, does this, can I write this off or whatever? It's just good to have it done. I know everyone tries to save money, but it's worth to have a professional to do it. So
I can only say what I said the very first time I ever used a tax accountant. I thought I was going to pay $800, and he found enough she found enough. I got $2,000 back.
Wow.
Yeah,
it is well worth it because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can write off for Uber driving. I mean, the miles are huge for one, but I mean, I write off my car washes. I don't know if I'm going to write off satellite radio this year because I've been, not taking passengers. But, yeah, car washes, satellite radio, mileage. I don't know.
Phone bill.
The phone bill gets a little weird. I actually bought a work phone this year for Uber and Lyft, so I can write that off. But
home office. Absolutely.
No, don't do it. You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get audited. All right,
do it.
Don't do it. Don't listen to Jesper. Call Scrotum Bar Tax Accounting.
Just call him.
Call him. Don't listen to Jesper. We are not tax professionals.
No, we're not.
Unless Miguel is. Are you moonlighting?
No,
as
I'm not.
All right, we're going to do some Facebook shenanigans, and then we'll get out of here because I got to pay so bad. So I thought this was...
What was that?
I got to pay. Oh, no, Pete. I got to take a piss. That's what Pete already said. All right, does everyone know what WAP means?
No.
No, Jesper, you don't?
Well, now I do.
Make him say it.
No, don't say what it means.
Well, you got it in the picture.
Well, I am not
It's a good
gonna.
song.
I am not gonna say it, but I thought that was funny. Actually, Ben contributed to this, and
I love it.
WAP stands for Weekly Amazon Packages. So, let's see. Sam says no more car washes. Shut up, Sam. I'm playing my car washes. All right. So this is interesting. I'll let Marissa take this. So can you read that or not?
Yeah, it says, "Call me if you are outside. Don't just throw it on the porch."
You didn't want to use the swear words?
Sorry.
You don't have to. No, the guy says effing
He
call
does it all the time, by the way.
Yeah. Effing call me if you're outside. Just don't throw my S on the porch. So if you look all the way up, it says customer requested drop off. Contact them after dropping off the order. Again, I'm wondering if these apps are putting that in just default and customers are missing it.
I bet.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. But I always confirm with my customers too.
Oh,
Not
do
to
you?
brag. No, but I always send a text. I'm on my way. Do you want me to leave it on your porch?
Jason 5.0. That's all I can say.
Hey, she's a 4.9, bro. Like, let's not get crazy here.
Overall 4.9. That's out of 1,600 orders.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking awesome. All right. This one, Jesper, you can read this one.
Yes, of course I can. So I took Lyft as a passenger tonight. The rider named Sharon took me to Cirilla's on 28th Street and back home.
Hold on. What is Cirilla's, Jesper?
I'm not going to mention that.
Well, it kind of
everybody knows what Cirilla is.
Lover's Lane.
People do in Grand Rapids, but what
Lane.
about people in New Zealand?
So that is a store where you can buy grown-up toys. Okay, so the writer named Sharon took me to Cirilla's on 28th Street and back home so I can pick up some goodies that I ordered online. She told me it's her birthday today, so I told her to wait a few, and I had an idea of what to get her for her birthday. I brought her a silicone Kegel balls.
That's Kegel.
Kegel, whatever. See, you have so much fun with this, right? All the words you're going to give to me. She smiled and her happiness was fantastic. Happy birthday, Sharon. And see, yeah.
Yeah, what?
You always give me these stories.
I know, because it makes you embarrassed and it's hilarious. I mean, why would you if that is actually true, that's super weird. Like, you don't even know this person and you're going into a sex store and buying like Kegel stuff.
She just came from the store herself, right? So that goes to the story true. She had ordered something from in there to pick up, and so he went in and got an additional,
Yeah, but isn't that weird? Like,
oh, absolutely, it is 100%.
Yes.
I mean, I guess he's got game and he's comfortable in doing that, but man, that seems so weird. I like Sam's giving me like production tips in Telegram. And I'm like I really can do anything about it right now. Love you, Sam. All right, last one. So this is kind of funny. It says, me getting into Uber. Hey, how are you? Me getting out of an Uber. Good luck with your custody battle. There's no way the courts won't be able to see what an amazing mother you are. You stay strong, Amber. I love you. I mean, it's like we're bartenders. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the conversations that you have, it's just so funny. Yeah. So. Well, guys, thank you so much. I know this was kind of a longer show than normal, but we had a bunch of other people on. And Miguel, thank you for coming on. Marrisa, do you have any closing tips or say tip your Shipt Shopper?
Yeah, tip your Shipt Shopper. Come to your pickup orders on time. Please and thank you.
Marrisa, you need to take your husband's advice and stop doing those damn pickup orders.
I know, you're right. I do.
He tells you
always listen to your husband.
No.
Wait a minute. So, well, guys,
you are right.
Thank you so much. This is actually the last podcast for 2020 for us. So this will get this audio will get posted on Monday. But we thank everyone. We'll still be kind of in and out of social media and all that stuff like that. But make sure you join the Diet Bet, and you can check out our merch too if you want to get a t-shirt. We would really appreciate it.
Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All that fun stuff. Be safe. Wear a mask. All that good stuff. So
come back next year.